Fuck you, Twitch, for doing that to me. Right, so we're back. I'm not sure where it ended off, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. And as you probably guessed, if you noticed, these floor tiles have changed. What the fuck? They do it again. Yes, they will. What the fuck? Those floor tiles changed. What the fuck? Okay. Perfectly have to get them. this is interesting. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh no. I'm gonna take a guess I have to do all of these right.
How does compartmentalization square with consciousness? This subconscious, what's that doing? Keeping secret knowledge. Even as a god, the idea of trudging through my subconscious is somewhat nightmarish. Some things best not known, even for the all-knowing.
Sweet, that was easy. The second part was easy. That first part, fuck that. What?
The sad thing about being a god is the crushing loneliness. I don't really feel I have an equal. This wall, for instance. Don't get me wrong, he's a smart-looking wall. I enjoy being around him, but he has little of interesting conversation. Very flat personality. Like the bridge from earlier. Very anthropomorphized.
Cool.
I love giant machines. The bigger the machine, the better. This is my idea of heaven. There's something about a giant machine that screams godlike. Me and my machines, animated, as if alive, but really just acting inside a closed system. They give the impression they are full of life, but they are just wheels and cogs that turn in time. Ticking, clicking, and clacking contraptions.
Okay, so all of these have 3. And this one is 3 high, but that one is 4 high, and the other are 3. So that's my destination. Okay. So that means this one should have a bridge to it. Yes, okay. So we have that figured out. Okay, so now this needs to go here. Yes, no, maybe so. See how that's gonna happen. Unless this has enough bridge to it. Which it doesn't. So that means it has to. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, does this have 2? 3? Yes, it does. Okay. Makes sense. So, this goes here. a button. One. I have figured it out. Whee! Holy cheese. Okay. I probably should have... yeah. Okay, let's get moving.
If knowledge is in the mind, to be alone is to experience all of knowledge. All the substance of knowledge exists within mind. Therefore, to suppose another, whose mind was unknowable or transient, would suppose a world in which all knowing was an impossibility. So it follows that being alone serves as a proof of my deity. In this way, it is a comfort to me that I am alone. Others would be a difficult problem, a stairway to heaven made of fool's gold.
Staircase. That's assuming.
Being alone is important. If one does not hear both parts of a conversation, one cannot have a full idea of what is discussed. To be alone is to know the whole story. But still, this world seems to attempt to communicate something. The world is filled with part conversation. The writings on the walls themselves. Let there be yet more light. Being alone can serve as a comfort. If there's no one can hurt you. But perhaps that's a bleak outlook. There must be joy that comes from others. Praise, they can offer praise. As a god, praise is something I can relate to. Not enough praise at the moment. Worship wouldn't go amiss. But if there were others, they might attempt to belittle me, bring me down to improve their own relative status, accuse me of pride, narcissism, pretentiousness, or grandiose self-referential commentary. Nonsense. Pretension implies there is a lack of thought. The pretense of thought. I've thought long and hard about how brilliant I am. Done.
Okay. Doesn't that just prove what... Okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna bother trying to understand what that was.
It doesn't take a genius to see that I am a genius. Comparative statements are somewhat redundant when you're the lone wanderer of the universe. I think I'd like a goddess to share this with. We could walk around and talk about gold, perhaps waste away the time discussing how brilliant I am. She could bask in my intellect and compliment me on my immense wealth. Perhaps she'd look like me too. Obviously she couldn't be as handsome, that would be unthinkable. Could I create a goddess more majestic than myself? Could I create a rock that I couldn't lift? Well, apparently I can create doors I cannot open. What does a goddess do, though? Quite clearly, I'm busy doing all this god stuff. Walking about, thinking about stuff, solving problems, inventing problems to solve. Would she be my helper, or off doing her own thing? I'm a pretty big deal. If I had a goddess, I'd assume she'd want to be around me most of the time. But I feel like I'm too busy with all these challenges to possibly give her all of my attention. I mean, to be fair, it's likely to destroy her given my godlike intensity. Maybe I'd make her in my image. That would be amazing! 2 of me! Oh, we'd have so much in common! I'd quite like her to be lively. First, she'd have to be alive. Being alive is somewhat a prerequisite for being lively. Not created life yet. I see as through a glass dimly, not knowing as I should know. More light. Slight obsession with light here. I'm done here.
I see the light. I have seen the light, and I know. I know all, and see none. And yeah, existential crisis. Okay. Let's go over here. And
Why can I be surprised? If I'm all-knowing, then I should know all. Perhaps there is a moment when knowledge is created. Sometimes when I ask these questions, I wish there was a response. Wish there was someone out there listening to me, hearing these words. But how could they tell me even if they were listening? I've never heard their voice. If a voice came down from the sky to talk to me, I'd probably think I was crazy. But in case anyone's listening, I have a surplus of gold. If you'd like to pop by my universe, I could give you some. Friendship for gold? Straight up trade?
okay, that's pretty much the end, right? That's the beginning. That would be the end. These are bridges. Okay, I think, yeah, that was probably the easiest fucking puzzle. Holy Jesus Christ, that is so... Wow.
That's this done. I make a lot of mistakes and missteps. Can a god make mistakes? A mistake is something unintended. Am I an imperfect god? Or perhaps I'm not a god at all. Oh, no. Let's not be silly. Of course I'm God.
I see. To look at them. Okay. There's a staircase there. Yeah, okay, fine. Don't bite me. I'll just walk along the bridge I made. Nah. Why am I constrained if I'm a god? Doesn't make any sense. To be constrained. Okay, where did I come from? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Door is all lit, and I am going through.
Still
Another one of those
no
cage.
companion.
Why am I being caged again? Fascinating. Fascinating. You get no companion. No goddesses for you. Because that implies that you have a gender, and if you're a god, then you shouldn't have a gender, and if you have a gender, then that means that you are not alone as a god, because if you have a gender, that means that there has to be 2 of you, and if you have a gender, that means that you have the sexual dimorphism, which means that there needs to be another one of you to have sexual dimorphism, and that is kind of weird. Is that why we have Mother of God? But to imply that we have a Mother of God means that we have somebody who is above God by authority because of, you know, longevity and wisdom and... Oh God, why my brain?
What if it's all a joke? This whole world? A grand joke of which I am the punchline.
That
What if
sucks.
someone stands, looking on, grinning atop their high horse? An elevated perspective makes it easy to look down. What if someone distant and unknowable were forcing me to stumble around my world? Forcing me to overcome a series of mental obstacles, all for what? To demonstrate something? To teach something? What?
Does this just go in a circle? Yes, it does. Okay. Well, this is gonna be weird. 1 and 2.
Maybe I'm not a god. Maybe I'm a jester. Have you heard the one about the character who thought he was the
Ooh,
infinite?
Indiana Jones
His story
action.
came to an end. Quite the dramatic irony. Do I make my movements, my steps? I've never thought about a step I've made. They just seem to occur. I'm thrown about this world. Do I control, or rather merely witness my movement? If it is the case that I'm merely witnessing my motion, then is this my body, or am I an observer? Light has curious properties. It drives out darkness, or perhaps it's the other way around. Perhaps light is the absence of darkness. I should find out. How much light do you need to fill a bucket? 4?
Fuck. Can't get them all in view. Fucking. Oh. Oh. Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Vocatus equity non vocatus.
Patience is a
est
virtue I
quid.
possess. A god has infinite patience. A small proof of my deity. If I get frustrated with waiting, what does that mean? I'm not a god? Suppress.
look
Just a
this up.
momentary lapse of reason. Existential crisis. Everyone has one. Don't worry about it. Suppress.
I'm looking up what that means right now because I want to know. Okay, let's see here. Oh, it means called or not called. The god will be there. Okay, cool.